welcome to Amanda Harwood Holistic. It is that time of the month again for our May 2024 reading. This year is just flying. Can you believe that we are almost halfway through 2024? Last month I did the reading pre-recorded but live as I went, and I got some good feedback from that, so I'm going to do that again this month. Before we start, I just want to say that I'm using the tarot, the Wandering Star Tarot by Kat Pierce. It's my go-to tarot deck at this point in time. I love it. And I'm also going to use Angels of Abundance, which is by Doreen and Grant Virtue. Doreen Virtue is no longer in the spiritual industry. She denounced it as devil's work few years ago, I think, and Hay House got rid of her, as they rightly should. But I've got these cards, and I just feel like we maybe need a little bit of an abundance reading at the end of this reading. So I've brought those cards with me into the reading today. Now, also before we start, I'd like to just say this reading is a general reading only. It is for a lot of people. So if it doesn't resonate with you, just leave it and go about your day. Don't be stressed about it. There are lots and lots of tarot readers and oracle card readers on YouTube. If you want a reading for the month, maybe go and try out a few of those people and see if someone's readings really resonate with you. If this reading does resonate with you, I'd love to hear your comments and thoughts about it. It's always good to get feedback and know that my readings are actually helping some people get through their months a little bit easier and a little bit more joyfully. Okay, so let's start the reading. Okay, so I've already shuffled and laid the cards out because you don't really want to sit there and watch that. It's pretty boring. And looking at the cards, oh my God, we've got a much more positive month of May. Thank you. So, our overview of the month of May. We have 2 9 cards. So 9 is the number of completion. In most things, in numerology and that, but for tarot cards, 10 is actually the completion card, and 9 is the card that sort of says, you're almost there, keep it up type thing. So we have the 9 of Pentacles, and we have the 9 of Swords. So these cards are quite different from one another. So the 9 of Pentacles talks about being thankful for all the hard work that you've done and all the rewards that you've received from that hard work. It's especially about being grateful for that type of thing, and it's about enjoying the fruits of your labor. So it talks about being prosperous, and there's a level of stability in your life because you've done the work beforehand. But it really does stress about the gratitude thing and about sharing your good fortune with others. But then on the other hand, the 9 of Swords is about what keeps you up at night. So it can symbolize anxiety and worry, and mostly living life through fear. Do you live your life through fear? Are you always anxious about things that are most probably never going to happen, but they keep you up at night? I know that suffering from anxiety, I often used to have this, not so much anymore, but I often used to wake up and think about things that had no possibility of ever happening, but that's what I would be worried about. So what I'm being told is that we've gotten to this stage here, but now we're starting to think, okay, what's going to go wrong? How is this going to be taken from me? And what you think about, you bring about. So you really need to curb those anxious thoughts about when is this all going to be taken away from me. So just be grateful. And if you find yourself being woken in the middle of the night thinking about it's all too good to be true, get up, do something that stops that thought. Don't sit there or lay there tossing and turning in your bed thinking about it. Get up and change the story. So that's just the overview. When we drill down into those details, we get Temperance, which is a major arcana card, and we get the Four of Cups. Okay, so this Four of Cups straight away tells me why there may be some anxiety and worry, because the Four of Cups is about feeling a bit let down by things that have happened, or being a bit bored by what's happening, and not taking advantage of the opportunities that are still being offered to you. This usually is a choice. You choose not to take advantage of those opportunities because you don't feel you're ready, or you feel like you need to step back and reflect, or revitalize your energy before you go back into doing whatever you've been doing. So this could cause a bit of anxiety and worry. So it's just saying that this card is saying it's okay to not have to take advantage of every opportunity. That can become quite overwhelming and tiring. So just, pick and choose. But there are still opportunities out there for you if you want to take them. Excuse me. The Temperance card. Now, this is a major arcana card, and this card is all about moderation. So even though you might be enjoying the fruits of your labor and being grateful in that, it's saying, don't lose your head. Stay grounded, stay humble, stay grateful, and everything in moderation. So, celebrating is really good and enjoying the fruits of your labor, but don't overindulge, because then that can put you into a backward spiral. This card can also be about healing, and about receiving guidance about what you need in your life to have that balance in your life. I really quite like this card because it always just reminds me to think about, am I too much this way or too much this way? And what can I do to bring it all back into a more even keel? Saying that also, you need to remember that life is never going to be fully balanced all the time. That's not how life works. We have our ups and downs, but if we can recognize when we're more on a downer or we're going way too high and we need to just pull it back a bit, that's much more important than having our life perfectly even keeled all the time. I mean, that's the spice of life. So yeah, I really do like this card. She's saying everything in moderation and you will do well. Now we're coming on to the challenges that are going to be presented to you this month. And we have a major arcana card in the Devil. Now, sometimes people see this card and go, oh, the devil. But usually this card represents the devil within. Those cartoons that used to have the little angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other shoulder, and they were really just versions of yourself that were doing, one that would tell you to do good things and one that would tell you to do bad things. Well, this is how I interpret this card in this reading. You also maybe need to be wary of people who are trying to deceive you or turn your head to things that don't serve your greater good. But mostly it's about yourself, and it can often represent addictions. Now, this is just not about drugs and alcohol and food. It's also about social media. Now, I know that this is pretty ironic considering that you're watching this video on my Facebook page, but hear me out. If you have to wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is scroll through your Facebook or your Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is that you're into, then you have a problem. You should be able to get up and enjoy the morning first before checking emails or checking social media. Even if it's just 5 deep breaths in the morning, getting up and having a stretch and welcoming the morning in. If you have to keep checking your social media accounts, then you are addicted. I try not to check my social media accounts. I usually maybe do 10 minutes. I might do half an hour at nighttime after I've finished everything and I'm sitting down watching TV. But usually during the day, I would only go on social media if I'm looking for some information that I saw, or if I'm posting on my Facebook page, Or if I remember someone's birthday and I want to wish them happy birthday, I very rarely do any scrolling during the day. And I leave that for after I've finished everything and I'm settled in for the night. So this card is challenging you to look and see where in your life you may have an addiction. Because when we say addictions, people immediately think drugs and alcohol, but it's not. You can be addicted to food, you can be addicted to shopping, you can be addicted to knitting, you could be addicted, which I'm just saying that because both the knits I've got on today are my hand knits, but you could be addicted to craft or reading or music or whatever. And it's, having a hobby or having a few hobbies is fantastic. It's such a good mental health thing to do. But when it takes over your life, when it's all that there is, then that's when it becomes an addiction. So you're being challenged this month to look within and see where can you see where you might have addictions, or you might be manipulating yourself or other people to meet your desires. Now the other card that we've got is the 10 of Pentacles. Now this card is a really positive card because it's all about family. It's about having worked hard. It's actually the completion card of the 9 of Pentacles, which we had in the overview. So it's where everything is good. Life is good. You've worked hard and you've built a good, solid financial foundation. You've got money to help people. You've got money to do the things that you want to do. Everything is really good. So why is this a challenge? Okay, I'm being told that this could be a challenge because you may feel that you need to help everybody, that you need to be there for everyone, and you just can't do that. You shouldn't sacrifice your own stability to help someone else out, because then you're in the shit, aren't you? So this card is maybe challenging you to make sure that you're not overcompensating for somebody or feeling like you need to do stuff that you shouldn't really be doing, that that person should actually be taking responsibility for. It can also talk about, okay, thank you. Sorry, I'm just getting a message. It also talks about maybe hoarding what you've got. And we all know that when you hoard stuff, you usually lose it because you're so fearful of losing it. And what we think about, we bring about. So if you're fearful of losing it, that's exactly what's going to happen. So this card also warns of the challenge of not hoarding stuff, of being generous and open as well, but not going to the other extreme of sacrificing your own needs to help other people. So lastly, we have what opportunities are going to be provided for us. And we have some really, really good cards. Yay! Okay, so we're going to deal with the Major Arcana cards. So we've received a Major Arcana card, 3 of them now. So this could mean that for this month, some major changes are going to happen. This card is the Wheel of Fortune. Now, the Wheel of Fortune goes around. So basically, this is like a depiction of all of us being on the Wheel of Fortune. So sometimes we're going down and then other times we're going up. This card usually represents an up movement, an upward movement. So going into a better time. So the situation, the opportunities that are given by this card are talking about karma, being rewarded with good karma, or that's not really right, because karma is not so much about being given good or bad opportunities, depending on what you did in a previous life. It's more about learning lessons and how they affect your lives going forward, if you believe in reincarnation, as I do. But this card is good. It usually says if you've been feeling like you've been on a downward turn, this card is telling you that good things are going to start happening for you. It can also talk about destiny as well. So maybe something that you've been hoping for or desiring, or something that you're destined to do, without getting into a very long conversation about that, may also be coming into fruition. So really good opportunities. if you get an opportunity, you think, I've always wanted to do that, then go for it, because they're saying this is a good time to do it. The other card is the Six of Wands. So the Six of Wands is a really positive card. It talks about victory. It talks about triumph and glory. Basically, you've been victorious. So you're sitting pretty high. People are recognizing your good work. You've received success at some level. So it's saying just enjoy that. Take a moment to stop and enjoy that. And that's very much the same as the Nine of Pentacles. So you've got that reiteration there in your opportunity. So it is an opportunity to be victorious in your life, to be successful, and to appreciate that, and to be grateful for all that you've got and received so far and all that is to come. Okay, so that's the reading for May. I'm just going to pull a card now and see what message Spirit has for us for the month of May. Just going to clear those cards away. So as I said, we're using the Angels of Abundance Oracle deck by Doreen and Grant Virtue. Let's see. What message does Spirit have for us for the month of May 2024? Okay, so a really good positive card. It says obstacles and blocks are lifted. So finally, we're getting a good month, guys. We're going to get a little bit of breathing space. We're going to get time to appreciate all the hard work we've done. I'll just read you this card. It says, all your good personal work and your positive energy shift have overcome previous obstacles, and blocks are lifted away. You will now experience progress and forward movement with your projects. Stay centered in gratitude to ensure your flow of abundance continues. So this card is really just confirming what we've been talking about for the last 20 or 30 minutes about the energy that's coming in for this month, and about remaining grateful for the abundance that you've received and the success that you've had with the hard work that you've done previously in the last 2 months. Now, I can really feel that shift happening. I feel much more positive. I mean, even though I've had the lurgy this week, because I am pre-recording this at the end of April, I've had the lurgy. I just feel much more positive. I feel really light, and I feel like I'm finally getting that forward movement again, and that's really a really great feeling. And as it says, you just need to remember to remain grateful. This is your big theme for this month, I feel, is that gratitude is your attitude, which I know really sounds cliched and a bit tacky, but it's true. So maybe you want to start a gratitude journal if you don't already do it, or even as you wake up first thing in the morning, you should give yourself 3 things that you're grateful for the day. I know when I do my journaling practice in the morning, I always end with 3 things that I'm grateful for that day. Yeah, so that's it. Okay, well, thank you for being here today. I really appreciate it. It's quite cold here today, as you can see, and I'm actually being treated for some precancerous skin cancer. So that's why I've got my hat on today, because my hair is absolutely filthy, because they tell you to try not and let other stuff get into it. But it is quite chilly here today, which is great because I'm so over summer and hot weather. I'm ready for winter woolies, beanies, scarves, all that sort of thing. I hope wherever you are having a great month. Enjoy May. Yes, we finally got a reprieve. So enjoy that, because next month we might go back to shit hitting the fan. You know what life is like. But at the moment, we should enjoy the good fortunes that we've received, the people that we have in our life, and the opportunities that are being presented to us. That's it from me. Have a great month, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.